Hello and welcome. Eli here, founder of Freedom Travel Systems. And I want to introduce you to one of our extraordinary and potentially the most essential piece of this puzzle to make your travel happen. One of our extraordinary teammates here, Allison Taquette. She is our lead points consultant. She's our travel manager and does a tremendous job of really making magic happen in a situation where sometimes it can be really difficult otherwise to figure out how to utilize these points fully and put together, optimal travel plans. So Allison has been with the team here for over a year. And if you're watching this, that means that you're very likely going to be either in touch with her directly, or you're someone from your team will be, or she'll be involved in your travel planning to some capacity. So I wanted you to get familiar with her and also understand just briefly what the background process looks like when it comes to actually planning and researching and booking your trip so that you can understand what's going on behind the scenes and really how epic what we're about to pull off for you actually is. So with that, Allison, I want to welcome you, say thank you again for being here and being a part of the team. And to start things off, I just want to have you give a quick synopsis. We were just talking about this right before, how over the last 3 months we've been redeeming points and using for our clients. So if you can give a quick overview of over the last 3 months, what have you been able to pull off with points, and what does that mean from like a cent per point value?
So over the last 3 months for our clients, we have redeemed about 25.5 million points for about $1.26 million worth of travel. And that comes out to about a 4.7 cent per point of value, meaning for every 1 point that you use, you're getting 4.7 cents per point of value. Now, if you were going to redeem that through like the Amex travel portal, you'd only get 1 cent per point of value at most.
That's amazing. And when you think about like investment opportunities in life, if you get 10% return or 12% or 50 or 20 to 30, 40% return, that's unheard of. This is 4.7x the standard value. So, just for context, getting $1.2 million worth of travel would typically require 102 million points. And we just did it for 25 million. So a fraction of the cost. And that's obviously comprehensive across a bunch of clients. But for you, if you have 1 million points, normally you're going to get, $10,000 out of them if you go to Amex Travel. And now you'd get, at this value, potentially like 47 to 50K, which is awesome. So that's off the bat what she's able to do. Now, Allison, if you can share also just a little bit on like, what does the daily process look like for you to go through and make some of this magic happen? Some people submit a trip. They're saying, hey, I want to go to Greece, family of 4, next summer. What's going on your end, and walk us through what that process looks like.
Yeah. So the first thing I like to do anytime that a trip comes in is one, I like to research the routes, right? Because routes change all the time. One airline might fly this route, only on Mondays or Fridays, and another one might fly it daily. So I like to research my routes to know what airlines are possible to fly into this destination. Then I like to look at the cash value of it, because if it's something like $100 to fly between these two cities, it's not going to be worth utilizing our points most likely, because it could end up being like 30,000, 50,000 points that we're trading off for $100, right? And we can easily turn 30 to 50,000 points into $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 worth of value on that. The next thing I like to do is look at the transfer partners that you have available with the points that you have. So each bank like Chase, Amex, Capital One, Citi, they all have their own unique transfer partners that we can utilize. And then I like to check what transfer partners are available for what points you have. So if you only have Chase points, you're limited to the Chase transfer partners. But if you have Amex, Citi, and Capital One, you have additional access to more transfers. And every bank has their own unique transfer partners. And while there is some overlap, we want to take advantage of the transfer partners that have the most value. So I like to see what we have, points that we have, and what we can do. And then I start liking to run my searches with those airlines. And then we have some other softwares available to us to help make the search process easier, or even daily monitor some of these flights. Because what's available today may not be available in tomorrow, 3 hours from now, even half an hour, depending on what the redemption is, because they can go fast.
Awesome. Yeah, super helpful and insightful. And the idea here is to also just illuminate how much time and headache you're saving by doing this. if you really want to do this proper and get the kind of results that we're talking about, where you're saving multiple 5 figures, sometimes 6 figures plus a year, it's going to take time. And whether you're doing that or someone else is doing that, there's no way around it. I don't care, how good the apps and software are even out there. You're going to be spending a lot of time doing this. And so to have someone that's tracking it, monitoring it, looking at the best routes and finding the right aircrafts, like all that stuff, saves a lot of time and mental bandwidth for you that you can now pour into the things that matter most: your business, your family, your friends, like enjoying your life. Allison, if you just want to share lastly, we've been working with hundreds of clients now. Many have gotten tremendous results, as we're seeing, and some people have been a little bit more difficult to get that trip booked. They're maybe just a little bit lagging behind. What has been the biggest difference maker for people that are having like huge wins, they're getting fast results, versus those that aren't?
Yeah, number one is flexibility. We all want to have an easy travel day. If we can take a nonstop flight over a one connection, we absolutely want to do that. But we're a little bit flexible on how we get to our final destination. We can find better value, meaning better saving our points, and even a better experience in the air is just trying to take that nonstop flight. Now, we don't want to set you up with a 12-hour crazy layover unless you want to experience the city. So we try and keep the layovers pretty short for you. And responsiveness. We all know we're all busy, and sometimes we miss our emails, our text messages, or whatever. But some of these redemptions, especially for these first class ones on popular routes, they go really fast. I could send you an option right now, and let's just say it's 1:00, Central Time, but by 1:15 Central Time, it's gone. So we do want to make sure that we're watching our emails or our Slack when we're looking at flights to make we can get the best experience available to us.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's super, super insightful. So especially the response time, if you're working with us on a trip booking basis and you need to, obviously get your travel plan, it's really important for you for things to work well and for us to be able to deliver that to you. Having quick responses where you're checking things, you have your notifications turned on, is going to make the process way easier for everybody. Now, obviously, as Allison mentioned, some things will go really fast, but if they do, there will be more options, but sometimes it can take a little bit for those to pop back up, or it might not be as good. Like it's a first class option that was available and now you're flying business class, or it was the perfect time of what you wanted and now you're flying like 3 hours earlier or later. So that's important. And also for the flexibility piece too, a lot of you coming into this, domestic travel, if you live in Dallas and you're flying to Chicago, you want a specific time, specific date, no options because it's for a business conference. But then if you're flying to Europe, it's like, okay, we have 2 to 3 days of flexibility. So it'll depend obviously on your parameters. We'll always do the best with what you give us, but having that extra flexibility, particularly for the big international flights, is where you're going to see the biggest savings, the best experience, and allow us to really work the magic that'll get you the results you want. So with that, Allison, thank you so much. And to you watching this, we appreciate you. We're really looking forward to getting you some big wins, and we'll talk soon.